Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another interesting knife review / knife overview to share with you guys. This is the new Hinderer XM18 3.25 inch, which has a blade length that is a 1/4 inch shorter than the classic and flagship 3.5 inch. Why did they make this? Well, to the average, knife community goer, right? One other knife person just swimming around in this fishbowl like the rest of us. This is going to seem weird and totally pointless, but the truth is that this is actually something that longtime Hinderer fans have asked for. Me personally, the 3.5 inch version of the XM18 is the one that I prefer. I don't need a shorter knife, right? But the 3 inch has always felt way too small. I find that knife to be so unappealing, and I have never picked one up because of that. A lot of people said, hey, my hands are not, huge, and the 3.5 inch is a little big for me, but the 3 inch is a little small. This is something that has been widely talked about in the Hinderer community for years and years and years. So it's going to seem completely silly and pointless to the vast majority of people, but you have to remember, Rick isn't marketing this to the majority of people. He's doing this specifically for those people who have been asking for this. So for those people, it will make perfect sense, which is exactly who it was done for, right? I picked this up because I'm a Hinderer fan, and I just wanted to check it out and take a look at it and give you guys my thoughts. Specifically for people who are looking for exactly this knife, right? Maybe you are that person who, thought the XM18 3.5 inch was just a little bit too big, right? Well, I wanted to have a video for you guys. And I did carry this, but it was such a simple review. I'm so familiar with Hinderer knives. I have personally owned over 40 of them. I currently own like 8, maybe 9 now with this guy. And I carry my my non-flipper Spanto, which I've got right over here. I carry this guy all the time. Just absolutely love Hinderer knives. There's nothing really new here. They're not really doing anything new with the XM18. It's just slightly shorter. So that's what we're going to talk about. It should be a short review today. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Make sure and follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. Make sure your notifications are turned on. I bought this from DLT Trading. I paid full price for it. Overall length. It is only a 1/4 inch shorter in blade, but it's actually 3/4 of an inch shorter overall. This comes in at 7.5 inches now versus the original full size coming in at 8.25. We're going to have kind of a domed perspective here. So it's going to look like it only measures at like 8, right? But it's actually 8.25. Whatever's sitting on top is always going to look the smallest. So I'll give you guys both perspectives here. But it is not a lot smaller, but again, it is smaller enough that this will affect the choice for many people. Many people seeking to purchase their first XM18, it'll come down to this choice here. And I can tell you guys exactly, kind of where I can help out on where to land on this, right? So let's go ahead and do some other size comparisons here. We'll put it up against my own Excalibur. My full-size Excalibur is 8.5 inches, and my small Excalibur is exactly the same overall length as this guy. Now, I understand nobody has this yet, so that's not going to do you any good, but in the future it will. I know a lot of people who watch my channel are going to pick that knife up, and that's why I've started doing size comparisons, because it'll be helpful genuinely for people who have picked that knife up. We'll put it up against the Spyderco PM2 and the Spyderco Para 3. If the PM2 is too big for you and the Para 3 is just right, this is the one, okay? And finally, up against the Benchmade Griptilian, or in this case, the Ritter Hogue, and we'll do the Benchmade Bug Out. If you like the size of the Benchmade Bug Out, right, and something like the Griptilian or Ritter Hogue is too big, this is the right size for you, okay? How's the action? Tri-way pivot system. If the last time you handled or purchased a Hinderer knife was 2014, literally everything is different. We now have bearings, phosphor bronze, and nylon included in the package. They can be swapped out very, very easily. The detents have been massively improved since they used to be, so everything flips and feels great, right? The flipper tab itself is still this terrible hook shape, and it sucks, but it's functioning as intended as the guard. Should they update this? My God, yes. Please. I mean, the reason that there's a lot of people are like, oh, Hinderer knives, no innovation, no innovation. Do they need to? from a business perspective, you understand the reason that there's no innovation or that there hasn't been, maybe in the future there will be, is because he doesn't need to. Everything that he's done has been working. Hinderer knives have continued to sell, right? He's finally caught up with the scarcity issue and can produce them in numbers that make them much, much, much easier to get now, right? People confuse that with lack of demand. When your production goes up, right, because there's still variations of the XM18 that sell out instantly. For example, the DLT trading non-flipper fullered spear, they'll sell in minutes, right? Certain variations don't, and that's just the case. He's caught up with production, and right, and perhaps some demand for sure has died off, but these are still largely selling extremely well. There's tons of authorized retailers. A lot of people think it's just like a handful. Oh my God, there's dozens and dozens of retailers that are authorized with Hinderer knives and buy these things in batches. These things are being sold like crazy. So is there a need for innovation? A lot of these Chinese companies are coming out with a new model like every week. Yeah, because it can't, I mean, for their audience, it can't keep their attention, right? So for some different groups that are looking for different things, there is a need for innovation, right? But if you're somebody who's like, for example, if you're a huge fan of Brian Winters, great knives, and you're wondering, Brian Winters is doing all this crazy stuff with magnets. Why isn't Hinderer doing that? Because he doesn't need to. Because the audience, the buying audience is completely different. For a lot of people, all it'll take is just changing the XM18 3.5 inch to an XM18 3.25 inch, right? And you can say, well, those people are stupid. My argument is, I think if that's the conclusion you've come to, I think you are stupid for coming to that conclusion, right? Don't get mad at me. I'm just saying it comes down to what he needs to do for the people who are actually buying his products. Now, on the flip side of that, maybe doing a little bit of innovating could invite new customers in. And I think that is a completely and totally valid argument. I want to reduce it as a Hinderer fan and somebody who does like knives like, you know, what Brian Winters makes, right? Kind of a in between there. The one thing that I do not understand is why we have not redesigned this flipper tab. The flipper tab needs to be redesigned. It can still function as a guard, and it can change to be comfortable to deploy. The reason that I don't buy flippers anymore, usually, right, unless it's some crazy variation that's just I just want to collect, is because I don't like the flippers. I like the non-flippers. It solves an ergonomic issue for me, and flipping an XM18 is not something that feels good, right? So I wish that we had done that. It would have been really cool to see like a change in flipper for this model, because that would, I think, would have really helped, sell it to people who already have a ton of Hinderer knives. And the other thing is, I really wish they would bring back the domed thumb studs. They did that, and that's how they were in Gen 3 and 4. And once we got to Gen 5 and 6, they made them flat and way less comfortable to manipulate. So I don't know why we've done that, right? I don't expect Hinderer knives to come out with like some crazy new ambidextrous locking system. I think that you guys should always expect them to be frame locks, liner locks, or something like that. It is possible that he'll do something different in the future, right? Would it surprise me if Hinderer did a button-operated top liner lock at some point? I think that's a stretch, but that wouldn't necessarily surprise me. But I don't expect Rick Hinderer to, create some magic new locking system. It's not in the cards, right? So that's what I think there. Carry profile, let's do thickness up against the Spyderco Para 3. This is still just as thick as a standard XM18 3.5 inch, which I find to be funny. We'll talk more about that here in a second. Length and height up against the PM2 and the Para 3. Where the heck is the PM2 is just gone again. I swear there's something to do with the configuration of that knife. Here it is. It was laying on its side. I couldn't see it. Configuration of that knife with the titanium, it just makes it invisible. This guy carries a little bigger than the Para 3, a little smaller than the PM2, but it's heavier than both. Materials, we have, in this case, G10. Yes, the liner underneath is titanium. A lot of people say, no, it's not, it's steel. You're thinking of the ZT0562 authorized collaboration, which a lot of people, I remember, being irritated about, because the liner on that knife, that is ZT's Hinderer, authorized and designed by Rick Hinderer. The liner on that is actually steel, with the frame lock being titanium. So everybody assumes it's the same way on the XM18. It is not. Titanium liner, titanium frame lock, G10. We have S45VN on the blade, which in my opinion is the right steel to buy these knives in. The Hinder's M390 and 20 CV is a little low, in my opinion, on the HRC range, 59 to 61. Their S45VN is great, though. Weighs 4.8 ounces, which is still pretty darn heavy, right? Let's go ahead and measure the blade stock thickness. Did the blade stock thickness did it get thinner? It sure didn't. It's just as thick. It's the same. It's exactly the same, right? All right. Meat and potatoes time. I'll make this real quick, guys. Ergonomically, it feels like a slightly shorter XM18 3.5 inch. These pocket clips come mounted tip down. I don't know why. It's a flipper. I always change the tip up. Ergonomically, the length of this clip is still the same. So it actually, in my opinion, makes it less comfortable, right? I can feel that pocket clip more. Curiously, the choil area is not really any smaller. It's, I guess, maybe a microscopic amount smaller, but not really. So you can there's still the same amount of room to get in there, but it still would be better to just, I think the ultimate version of the XM18 does not have a flipper, right? That solves the issue of the flipper being ridiculously uncomfortable when you flip it. And it also frees up the entire area and makes the knife 1,000 times more ergonomic, right? So if they would bring back the button head thumb studs and they would offer a version of this that is non-flipper and also fix the flipper tab, it would be substantially more appealing. I believe that they will do one of those things. They will offer a version of this that is a non-flipper. That is almost an inevitability, right? But the pocket clip does make this a little more awkward. Otherwise, it's fine. It feels like a Hinder. It's not the most perfect ergonomic design in the world, but it is very good, and I like it. My own design was based largely on this. Cutting geometry is about the same. I mean, they're pretty thick behind the edge, and this guy ends up, I think, actually being slightly thicker because there's not quite as much room to drop. So slicing a piece of paper, I'll give you guys a demonstration here. You can slice. A lot of people say, Hinderer knives, they don't cut, they're too thick. And you see these idiots doing this. As you can see here, it's not cutting, it's too thick behind the edge. Yeah, well, you know, if you don't come at it like a cave person, then you can obviously slice with it. But you can see that it is in fact thick behind the edge, right? This is just, it's very chunky behind the edge. Obviously you can resharpen and reprofile it yourself if you want to, but this needs to be thinner, which is also something that I expect Hinderer knives to do. They need to make a skinny version of this, not just a skinny version. Typically, a skinny version would be like taking the XM18 3.5 inch at 165 thousandths on the spine. They reduce the blade stock thickness to 145 thousandths, which reduces the thickness behind the edge by quite a bit, right? They go a step further with the XM18 3.5 inch and they do a hollow ground slicer. If you can get a skinny hollow ground slicer on the XM18 3.5 inch, that ends up with some pretty good cutting geometry. That is exactly what this needs. The 3.25 inch version of this knife just feels awkward because it utilizes the same clip. It has all the same, it's thumb stud and, you know, flipper tab, all of that. And the edge it feels even thicker somehow. Like my user, right? This has been used and it definitely slices better than this brand new. Look at this. You can see it lipping up like that. It's sharp, right? Anybody who tells you they can't cut is just wrong. Or their preferences when it comes to how easily a blade should pass through material, right? Does it make it hard to cut stuff like styrofoam and cardboard? Yeah, because you got to push the whole wedge through there, right? But it is like, we're talking Hallmark Christmas special levels of drama. When people go, it can't even cut. I can't knives. It can't even cut. That's ridiculous. They can definitely cut. It's just like they're just really thick behind the edge. So they need to make a version of this that is skinny and a hollow slicer, because then it starts to make sense. Then the weight's reduced, right? All of a sudden, the slightly more compact size has a lot more meaning. The edge geometry feels substantially better, right? And it kind of fits the role that people expect a more compact XM18 to fit without sacrificing that, you know, durability, that feeling of robustness that comes along with Hinderer knives. Do I think they'll do that? Yeah. What they won't do is they won't add the button studs back, and they will not. They won't alter the flipper tab. That's just not going to happen, right? So yeah, hardware is still the same. It's still that weird like hex, right? And to my knowledge, this is the exact same spacing. It's all the same hardware as the XM18 3.5 inch. Obviously, the skinny hardware would be different, but because the titanium and the the blade stock thickness is all the same. All of the hardware should be the same. All of the screw sizes should be the same, right? They've just sort of squished them in. Still a lanyard hole. We still have the Chicago ends here. Still using Phillips. Why? Change these to Torx. So weird. Still has the LBS. The pocket clip, I actually still like the style of pocket clip. I just think it's too long for this knife. Steel lock bar insert that doubles as the over travel stops. You have 2 over travels on this knife. Thumb studs still act as the external stops. There's obviously no blade play up, down, left, or right. No double clutch, no lock, stick, or anything like that. Plenty smooth and consistent here. I did hit mine with a shot of KPL, or a little bit on the detent ball. And your centering is absolutely spot on. It's stayed that way the entire time I've had it with no detent lash. What's the price? Surely it's less, right? Nope, it's $425. It should be a little less. Should be $399, right? So the price tag was a little like, okay, it feels thicker behind the edge. It feels a little more clunky than it should, right? The 3.25 inch version of the XM18 is a good idea when you have those inevitable like Hinderer variations that come down the road. When they make a 3.25 inch skinny hollow slicer, non-flipper, oh, I'll be front of the line. Front of the line, definitely. I like my big, chunky, thick XM18s for a totally different reason, right? But the one that's going to fit that EDC roll the best is exactly the combination that I mentioned just now. Exactly. And if they actually, release it in something like Magna Cut at 6264 or 6364, it'll be that much better, right? As it stands right now, the basic version of the 3.25 inch is just a little awkward, but it has the potential to be some people's ultimate XM18. We still did not manage to make this a short video. I'm sorry. Is it recommendable? It really, we're going to have to wait until more variations come out, right? But if it's the right size for you, then, yeah, go ahead. It'll be linked down in the description. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.